we finally got some snow. So does this January blizzard mean that climate change isn't happening anymore? Not likely. This blizzard, it's a weather event. So what's the difference between weather and climate? Let's go for a ski with my dog in Talman Park and find out what that difference is.
We are both walking along the same path, but we take very different routes. My dog travels from side to side as different things along the road catch her eye or nose or ears. It's hard to know where she will end up next. In part, that's because she is responding to things human beings can't sense, like a sound too faint for us to hear, or a smell our noses can't detect. It seems entirely random, but there is a logic to it. As she moves from side to side along the trail, she spends about half of her time on one side of the trail and half of her time on the other side of the trail. I, on the other hand, stay more or less in the middle all of the time. In a way, our two paths are like the difference between weather and climate. You can think of the dog's path as the weather, with one side of the trail representing warmer than normal days, and one side representing colder than normal days. We'll end up with about an equal amount of each if we average it out over time. So my path, which is right down the middle of the trail, represents the average over time, or the climate. In this example, the path itself represents the range of temperatures we can expect for our area. The dog mostly stays on the trail, but once in a while she might venture off to chase a squirrel. There she goes now. Hey, Weather! Get back here! Don't be so extreme! Act normal! Come here! Good dog. Let's turn around and look at our footprints in the snow. Can you see the pattern they form? The dog's trail goes all over the road, but she spends about an equal time on each side. So if you average her trail out, you more or less get mine, which goes right up the middle. Now look at this graph of temperatures for the entire world over time. Can you see the same pattern? How about this one? That pattern in science, with a graph where a variable goes up and down quickly, but where the average forms a much simpler line, is called trend versus variation, where the average is trend, and the variable which goes up and down is variation. In atmospheric science, we also know this as climate versus weather.